Hi everybody, I'm Colin from Acoustic Nations. How are you doing? And today we're going to look at miking up guitars. Do you know, one of the questions I get asked most about, just in sort of general recording terms, is how to best mic up musical instruments. So here's a few tips about guitars, and in other editions of this series we'll also look at things like the piano, the saxophone, maybe even a couple of more esoteric ones. But the principles are always the same. You've got to really think about where the sound's coming from. Your ear's hearing what the instrument's doing, and that's a great thing. But the brain is a very, very clever instrument, and it filters out all sorts of unnecessary things you don't need. Now, microphones are very different. As we've been discussing in other installments, every microphone works in a slightly different way, and they've got slightly different specialities, if you want to call them that. For today's gig, I'm showing you the AKG C1000. We've featured this quite a few times. It's a really good general purpose mic, and I've got it set into the cardioid condition. So it's basically picking up in a very, very broad range directionally. So it's picking up in this direction, and it's picking up more or less what's in front of it, but not too narrow a range. So I could have the guitar there, I could have the guitar there, and it would still pick up. However, there's always a good place, a sweet spot, to put a microphone when you're recording a guitar like this. We'll come on to a couple of other ways to record guitars in just a second. But for this at the moment, what I'm going to say is that I really think that microphones like this should be pointed slightly down and up, if you see what I mean, or up and down. I'll show you what I mean. The one thing you don't want to do is have it pointed directly at the sound hole. There's a very good reason for this. The way the sound comes out of a guitar is it comes out of the sound hole going like that. So actually you could have the microphone up there, you could have it down there, and both would be kind of okay. But there's something else to think about, which is how you want the guitar to hear. And something I just want to talk to people about a lot is your own ears. How do you want the instrument to hear? Do you want to have a bassy, rich tone? Do you want it to be all kind of toppy and trebly? You can do an awful lot of that just with how you place the mic. High strings, like that, have a lot of energy in them. They're vibrating very, very quickly, and the energy is very directional. Low strings like this have not a dissimilar amount of energy, but of course it's vibrating much more slowly. So the sound is much more all over the place. It's much less directional. So what does that mean for the microphone? It's a personal preference, but I like to put the microphone slightly up like this. Oops, losing my guitar. Slightly up and pointing down. Now, one thing to be aware of also is what you as a performer are going to be using, or how you're going to be playing. If you're going to be very loud, like that, that's one thing. If you're going to be very soft, that's a completely different thing. So you just got to kind of work out what you're playing, where your microphone position's going to be, and it's really a question of experimentation. But just think about this. When you place that microphone, if you have it up and looking down like that, you're going to get the best of the bass notes. The bass music is going all over the place. It's going to fill the room. That always happens. The top strings are very, I guess the word is present. They're always there. And the top string is one of those things that the microphone will pick up by direction. So it's always good to have top looking down. Top looking down, is that the way around? So at the top looking down like this, in my opinion. It also means if you're a performer on your own, actually you could sing, hello, hello. You could sing as you're playing, and you stand a very good chance of that microphone picking you up. So just experiment. Do lots of different things. You could be up like that, you could be down like that. It's really about where you want to be. The only thing I would say to be very careful of is how much noise is coming off your plectrum, because noise does come off a pick, And the other thing is your own hand. You know, if you've got the microphone too close, A, you could hit it, and B, actually you're generating air as you waft up and down, and you could easily make a noise in the microphone. Thirdly, I guess finally, it's worth remembering that these microphones are very sensitive. You could have this microphone over there and it would still pick up really, really well. Again, I would bias it up, looking down. And actually that's not bad at all. That'll work very well. So what we're going to do is we are going to play. I'm not going to play anything as a song. I just want to show you what this sounds like when you record it separately. So let's start off with something loud, something like Eagles, Take It Easy. So it's a nice loud sound and we like that, and it's a fair amount of distance from there. You are picking up, I would hope you're picking up, I'm looking at my technical friend Jason over here, I would hope you're picking up very little pleck noise, and it's a nice ringing sound off the guitar. Now it doesn't matter that the microphone's still that far away, because if we play something more softly, of course when you come to the mix, you've got a mixing desk, you can just push the volume up and it's absolutely fine. So if you played something a bit softer, go for a bit more of a folky sound. So what I hope you see from that is that if you're in the ideal position for your microphone, when you're playing the loud stuff, it doesn't matter because your guitar's generating a lot of sound. But if you're playing much more softly, when it's very important to get a lot of distinction between the notes, then that position will really help you. And most importantly, don't get any pick noise and don't hit the microphone, rule number one. So the only other thing I would say is that some of you out there may want to have a different way of recording. You can use a pickup, and here's my own studio pickup from home. Sometimes when I'm using this guitar, I put an electric pickup into it. This is called a Woody by Seymour Duncan. It's a great little bit of kit. I love using this. You insert it into the sound hole. If I do just do that like that. And then you can just plug this either into an amplifier, or what I do is I plug that straight into my mixer, and that's called direct injection. Now if you DI into your mixer like that, of course you've got a lot more control over what you can do with the signal later on. It's a very clean signal. If you're going straight into the microphone, who knows what, straight into the amplifier, who knows what little bits of extraneous noise creep in. Now of course this is an electric pickup, so it's going to sound a bit more like an electric guitar. Not going to show you today, we'll do that on another occasion. But if you want a more guitar sound, a more acoustic guitar sound, then you've got to go to an electric acoustic that's got a piezo crystal built in, a piezo microphone, and usually a jack down the bottom there. And you can plug that straight into your amplifier, or you can stick it into your desk like I do with this. Of course, the best of both worlds is that you're recording a vaguely electric sound off of this, and you're also recording an acoustic sound off of that. And you can balance it, and that's my favourite. I like doing it that way. I don't actually possess an electroacoustic guitar yet. I'm hoping someone's listening, but who knows. So this is the way I do it, and I really enjoy recording this way, and I hope you will too. So thanks for listening. If you've liked what you've heard today, mash that button, say like. And I'm Colin, Acoustic Nations. Keep it real, and I'll see you again soon.